YouTube deleted comments critical of the Chinese Communist Party. And it was totally an accident. Welcome back to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. We all know about how the Chinese Communist Party censors the media and the internet inside China to make sure no one says anything that makes the party look bad. I, for one, am grateful because without Chinese censorship, our entire show, China Uncensored, would have nothing to cover. And I've got good news. This kind of censorship seems to be making its way across the Pacific, directly to Silicon Valley. It turns out YouTube has been deleting comments with phrases that insult China's Communist Party. I mean, how could that happen? What a mystery. It might be unsolvable. Well, apparently, for the past 6 months, YouTube has deleted any comments with the Chinese characters for Wu Mao, which means 50 cents. Wu Mao have become the abbreviation for the 50-cent army. Those are the trolls that post pro-Communist Party comments on the internet in exchange for a small fee, supposedly 50 Chinese cents. YouTube also deleted comments with the word gongfei, or communist bandit. I didn't even know that was still a thing. Communist bandit was a slur used by Chiang Kai-shek's nationalist forces against Mao's communist guerrilla army. And it's a bad phrase that no one should ever use, especially in the comments to this video. In this video, a user posts communist bandit in Chinese beneath a YouTube video. About 15 seconds later, it gets removed. They repeated this experiment several times. YouTube was definitely censoring it. So how is it that 2 insults to the Chinese Communist Party were being automatically deleted in YouTube comments? According to a YouTube spokesperson, upon review by our teams, we have confirmed this was an error in our enforcement system, and we are working to fix it as quickly as possible. I'm not accusing YouTube of doing this on purpose, by the way, at least not without more evidence. But the idea that this very specific anti-CCP censorship could happen through an error in their enforcement system is still very worrying. For example, Communist Bandit and 50 Cent Army could have been censored because of mass flagging from Chinese internet trolls. Or the algorithm could have flagged it for other reasons. We just don't know. Another YouTube spokesperson told Ars Technica that YouTube relies on classifiers to decide which comments to delete, and that YouTube's classifiers didn't take into account the proper context. The spokesperson said she wasn't able to give more details, which is unfortunate because more details are needed. Of course, I, for one, completely trust YouTube and its parent company, Google, and I obviously wouldn't want to say or do anything that might turn their classifiers against me. Which is why I think it's unfortunate that this whole communist bandit thing has made everyone remember all the controversy about that censored search app called Dragonfly that Google was secretly working on for the Chinese market. Google says they've scrapped Project Dragonfly, by the way, and I believe them. An American company would have to be really stupid to still want to get into the Chinese market right now. And I'm definitely not saying that Google is really stupid, though it does make me wonder about some of the things that have happened to China Uncensored over the years. I mean, YouTube has been ruthlessly demonetizing videos about the Hong Kong protests and the coronavirus, 2 of the most sensitive issues to the Chinese Communist Party. And YouTube actually censored 3 China Uncensored videos this year, completely removing them from YouTube. WHO corruption? Some of our viewers might wonder whether that's a topic the employees at YouTube don't want people talking about. But maybe it's not YouTube employees making the decision. It could be that a large number of Chinese internet trolls gamed the system by flagging our videos so many times that they tricked YouTube's algorithm into automatically censoring us. That would at least explain why YouTube took down our videos without warning, but then once we made a big deal about this on social media, YouTube humans quietly put each video back up within an hour. But if YouTube's automatic censorship mechanisms can be triggered by internet trolls, that's a huge and dangerous issue, especially now that YouTube said in March it expected to see more content removal as a result of its reliance on machine learning instead of human moderators. This is not the first time that machine learning has caused a weird error related to Chinese censorship. Last summer, during the Hong Kong protests, Google Translate was translating the English sentence "so sad to see Hong Kong become part of China" to "so happy to see Hong Kong become part of China" in Chinese. And if automatic censorship is not enough, YouTube has also been secretly unsubscribing people from our channel, not sending out notifications about new episodes, and in general, making it really hard to even find the show on YouTube. So I just want to say, I love YouTube, I love Google, and I especially love all those wonderful communist bandits in Beijing. Of course, if you'd like to know my real opinion, sign up to support China Uncensored on the crowdfunding website Patreon. For as little as $1 an episode, you can help us continue to make China Uncensored despite YouTube demonetizing a ton of our videos. Not that I think there's anything strange about that, or even anything to criticize. Speaking of which, now's the time when I answer a question from one of the people who support us on Patreon. Adam Steele asks, "Hi Chris, I was just wondering what you thought about Russia and China teaming up to form a petrodollar. Do you think it will rival the US petrodollar? Also, with everything YouTube has been doing to your videos, how in the pocket of the CCP do you think Google really is?" Wow, two great questions there, Adam. As for the petrodollar is not really a standalone currency. It's just the agreement that oil-producing countries, like the OPEC countries, will sell oil in exchange for US dollars. That means when any other country buys oil, they have to convert their local currency to US dollars first. For Russia or China to take over, they'd have to convince OPEC nations to trade their oil for Russian rubles or Chinese yuan. But these currencies are way less stable than the US dollar. So it would be hard for Russia or China to convince OPEC nations that they'd be better off getting a boatload of rubles or yuan instead of dollars. I think it's unlikely for this change to happen anytime soon. As for Google being in the pocket of the CCP, let me put it this way. Definitely Google had been working on Project Dragonfly, the censored search app for China I mentioned earlier. The Intercept exposed that in 2018. After public pressure, Google eventually scrapped Dragonfly. Separately from that, Google is doing artificial intelligence research in China, partnering with Chinese companies in a way that just happens to indirectly benefit China's military. It makes sense. There's just so much great data available in China that Google can use for AI research, because China has almost no restrictions that protect user privacy. I mean, how could Google not want access to that? But do Google's projects inside China influence their behavior in terms of how they censor YouTube videos? Of course not. I love Google and YouTube. They are great. Thanks for your question, Adam. And thank you for watching. Be like Adam and go to patreon.com/China Uncensored and support us with $1 or more per episode. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching China Uncensored.